Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Dr. Shadow, the Internet Personality Buster, and welcome to Live and Wired, episode 139, Pushing Up Bytes. Looks like it's going to be a bit of a solo experience today. Now, that's interesting. It appears on Twitter before YouTube because I had a little bit of a issue this time, and it's actually not streaming directly to Twitter. I added the link to YouTube for Twitter. That's where it is right now. Next time I should be back on Twitter, but the problem is I just found out that if I want to stream to that many platforms, I'm going to have to pay Streamlabs a little more. So let's see, is it going to be worth it? Yeah, the reason why for that is because this is the first week since like episode 72, way back when. We're back on Twitch. We're back on Twitch. At least we should be. Let me check. Yeah, we're back on Twitch. Okay, good. The Twitch recently has opened up their policies about multi-streaming. That was a thing the reason why, like, up to episode 72, it was multi-streaming to Twitch just fine. And then we suddenly stopped. And the reason behind this was very simple. Twitch had made their rules about multi-streaming quite strict at that point. They're like, no, we have 24-hour exclusivity of all content streamed to our platform. And I was like, well, then I ain't streaming to your platform. If I would play a video game here and there, I'd stream to Twitch. Yeah, that's no problem. But if I'm doing Live and Wired, it's like, I at the time I was usually getting like 100 viewers on YouTube, and I'd get like less than 10 on Twitch. Which one of those platforms am I going to drop because one of them demands exclusivity? So it's the exclusivity demand isn't there anymore. There's just a few little caveats, like I'm not allowed to have a chat box up showing everything, and I'm not allowed to use it to say, hey, you better go to a different platform other than Twitch. I'm not allowed that. And obviously that was facetious. If there's somehow some exec from Twitch watching right now, of the 40 people currently plugged in. I unfortunately did not get to see the teaser because I would have again had to drive 100 miles into the evening and watch Terrifier 2, which I'd love to do, but it is a long one, and then I'd have to spend it would again be midnight driving home, which I don't like driving at night in the first place. And then it's just like, and it's like, but there's the teaser. And it's like, yeah, but could they maybe just bring it to the Sundance down the street? I mean, come on, please bring Terrifier to close to where I live. I didn't get to see the Terrifier 3 teaser. I just saw a little bit of a rant someone had on Twitter talking about there in the teaser that hinted very greatly that a child would die in Terrifier 3. And if you know anything about the Terrifier movies, it's gore for gore's sake. And if you think that that's entertaining to watch a child be brutally and gorily murdered, then you can just unfollow me right now. That was retweeted by Damian Leon saying, Terrifier 3 in theaters next year. So, probably kid could get killed in it, which brings up the question of kids being killed in horror. Now, a lot of times, when it happens, I'll complain about it, of course, because most of the time when it happens, it is purely for shock value. And I would understand someone who believes that Terrifier is gore for gore's sake and is just there for shock value would see that as such, and I get that frame. But I view Terrifier as deeper than that. Am I reading too much into it? I don't know. It's just, there seems to be levels to the lore of Terrifier. And it's like, I'm pretty sure there's something deeper there. Do I know what it is? Honestly, no. I could be pulling it out of my ass. I don't know. I have no idea about this. Yeah, I gave up drinking since like 3 days ago, but has ever played the Batman Arkham Knight video games? Arkham Knight. I want to say I played Arkham Knight, but like not through to completion. I've never been too high on the Batman like Arkham combat. Probably because I wasn't introduced to that combat through the Arkham games, where everyone played the Arkham games and they were like, this is fantastic. I love it. It's great. Feels so heroic. And then everyone else copied that combat style, which means I didn't play Arkham, so I got introduced to that combat style in a different game. The game that introduced me to that combat style was Ride to Hell Retribution. So that's what I tend to think of when I get that combat style coming up. Now, it can be done very well, and of course, the Batman Arkham games do it very well. But also at a point, it just... I also played a lot of Ninja Gaiden on Xbox and such, so compare that to Arkham. Arkham looks really cool, does require a little bit of skill, but it is still compared to Ninja Gaiden. It is piss easy. It's like, oh, this little icon appeared over my head telling me what button to press. I better press it. Yeah. Like, horror is meant to disturb if you are disturbed. With that being said, I'll flip my hypocrisy switch and say your movie sucks if you kill the dog. Oh yeah. I've got a hard rule in my movie reviews where I really, really don't like it when they use real tragedy or any kind of like footage of real death in it. It's like, oh, it's disturbing. It's like, yeah, but that shit really happened and you're making a cheesy fucking horror flick. Cut that shit out. Do not. And in the upcoming review that is uploaded but is held up in copyright, there were some scenes where they used actual disaster footage, and I did not show any of that in the review. It's like, you sons of bitches. You're making this terrible movie, and you're just going to be like, hey, all you people here who suffered through this horrible disaster, lost everything, lost your life savings, is just completely devastated, possibly got, several of your family members killed. Well, don't worry. We use the footage of you crying on the news for our shitty movie. And no, the movie is absolutely not good. So, like, it's not even like, hey, like, this is terrible, but we used it for our entertainment. But our entertainment was something like entertaining. Like, it's just, oh, that does remind me of a little bit of the news that we're going to have to talk about today. Speaking of movie studios being scummy. Actually, there's a lot of news. A lot of news this Live and Wired about movie studios being kind of scummy. Oh. I have to say I have not. RoboCop Rogue City. I really like what I've seen of it. I haven't bought it yet. I'm trying to convince Charlie, my fiance, to play the game because, I don't know, she's not really into shooters is the thing, but I feel like RoboCop is like clunky enough that it would work. Like intentional clunk. And like a good amount of aim assist because he's a RoboCop. That's like literally his superpower is aim assist. So I feel like I want to play it, but at the same time, I really want her to play it. But I don't know. The people under the stairs. It's like me and my family. Me and my siblings. My siblings just stay under the stairs like, why are they making a movie about us? I don't understand this. But it is about time to break into the first bit of news, which, hey, have you heard? Remember what happened to... Oh, wait, no, that's the second bit of news I'm talking about. Okay, let's talk about what's on the title card. Well, you see, I'm the wrong person to ask because I've skipped like every Marvel movie. I generally don't really care too much about comic book movies, so I'm just like, meh. I watched a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. It's okay. It's not like amazing, but it's not bad. Now, about the title, Pushing Up Bytes. That's because the technical term for what I am about to discuss is listed under the concept of a conspiratorial kind of idea, so I didn't want to trigger anything in the algorithm that would be like, oh, no, you cannot say such things. And that is also very much on topic. Well, there's been a lot of stuff going on lately with AI. A lot of Pierce had a bit of a take on Twitter where she was saying like Microsoft, like Sony just purchased a company that specializes in AI to increase video like quality on output for streaming to keep things low bit rates, so like you can do cloud gaming like better. Microsoft just said that they're working with this company to produce like AI stuff like all over your video games, just like AI bukkake. And Alana went on Twitter and had her take saying like, this is terrible. This is taking jobs away from developers. I will not play any game at all that uses this company's stuff. Which, you know, I'm pretty sure it was like a 3 a.m. tweet kind of thing. And, you know, it's been days that probably she's come back by now at some point with us like, okay, I got to explain a few things, and, you know, let's not make it seem as harsh and like binary as it's said, and, you know, what have you. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that AI is everywhere and it's ever increasing. Which is the point that people were telling her, that if she's not going to play any games made with those AI tools, then pretty soon she might not be having any games to play. So being 100% on that might not not really work out in the long term. But YouTube, long-haired Lana from Texas talking about conspiracies. Where's the cyber police? Yeah, there are the cyber police. There are. Like, that's another, like, the YouTube algorithms and such is like all built to try and detect any kind of thing that it's like, we don't want this kind of content. Turn that down, turn that down, turn that down. And it's something that we all live in fear of. And it's at the same time, I'm sure if any of you have ever had to Google anything in your life, and you've noticed over the years, the good results to the information you're looking for has slowly disappeared and been replaced by AI-generated articles that may or may not, oftentimes do not, contain the correct information. But no matter what information it has, it's always spread out on a bunch of shitty little paragraphs with the pictures in between that show some kind of relevancy. And it's like, let's do a little experiment. Let's do a little experiment here. I'm going to search for what is the best keyboard. And let's see, my first result here, Arting's top 7 best keyboards, fall 2023. This is exactly, it's got the picture of a bunch of keyboards, shitty paragraph. Then, okay, this actually kind of rates based on reviews from other things. So it almost is kind of useful. So what kind of, what's a good question? Was there any good about basketball? I've seen basketball popping up a little bit more in just general circles, and I'm like, yeah, I remember that. I never saw it. It didn't seem like up my alley. We're slowly creating Skynet. This is how we cause our extinction. Not with nukes, but with artificial programs that can't even tell you how to crash Minecraft. Yeah, but like the thing I'm trying to get at is like there's so much more AI generated content because it's like fast. You can pump it out. and it's like designed to work with the algorithms that are built to promote certain content over others. So humans are like YouTube, Google, they like to keep the humans in the dark about this because they're like, hey, if you know you're going to game the system, you're going to game it, and it's not going to be fair. In the meantime, YouTube itself, look for anything on like new videos, you're going to get bombarded. Let me say YouTube. Let me look at a video about keyboards. Why is that what I'm thinking of? Now let's filter this by last hour uploads. Oh my God, it's the exact fucking, that's the same article. That is the same article. Guys, let me present my screen because I swear. Oh, okay, here we go. This is the article that came up. 10 best fall 2023 reviews. I searched YouTube for in the last hour, 33 minutes ago, the best gaming keyboards of 2023. It's the same thing. It's the AI generated article made into an AI generated video for YouTube. It just keeps coming. They're just pouring in because it's ridiculously fast to make this crap. And that's what's kind of going on. And there's the idea of the dead internet is that you're getting to the point where it's just robots talking to robots, promoting robot stuff generated by robots. In the meantime, the human aspect of the internet is just like gone. Just gone. And then fund ad block companies. Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Oh. Yeah, YouTube's blocking ad block, but yeah, it will delete channels like the 3D print general without specific codes. Yeah, and let's not get into the whole Sniper Wolf thing. It's like, yeah, it may be a little bit of attempted murder by proxy, but who hasn't done that a little bit here and there? Oh, but yeah, it's like this is just the concept, and I'm no better. I have been spending like every day on Bing AI generator, just making little AI art pieces because it's really good at that. But it's never exactly what I want, so I keep telling it over and over again, make me some more. And then it keeps blocking my prompt because it keeps saying that you're a sick bastard and what have you. Which is annoying because, the AI art has some like power there, but it's really hard to know which prompts to put in, and when it keeps doing the whole censorship dance. So yeah, AI is everywhere. It's unending. AI is a fun tool, but I never use it seriously unless it's built in products I use. See, I like the idea of like prototyping, getting a bunch of stuff together. Funny thing though, it's like the examples of like, look at this great AI art I made, and it's of a recognizable, very popular character, and it's like you realize that has a lot of art already out there for it that it pulls from literally. If you're just making something derivative, AI will steal that whole cloth. It has no problem with that. That is not a flex of AI. Yeah, it looks pretty, but it's going to. It's AI. It's kind of like when you have a foot race. Well, you're comparing speed, and you have a car versus a person. The car goes faster, but in order to say the car's impressive, you don't just say how much faster it is than a human at going a certain distance. You need a car track versus other cars. That's how you figure out which car is the best. But yeah, I'm trying to get Charlie to play RoboCop, and I'm trying to get it to like do some kind of thing with Twitch, maybe? I don't know. And she got little characters, so that's what I've been using that's what I've been using the Bing AI generator for. And so it gives us stuff like this. Well, I'm trying to make like her character, but make it semi-robotic. and keep it in a wheelchair and stuff. And this is like combining several aspects. Fortunately, this hand's a little messed up, but she has the correct amount of fingers. And I'm like, well, let's be thankful for that. I'm not going for no pants. I specifically told it robot shorts right here. It's supposed to have robot shorts. Where are the shorts? I don't know. It's not the best. It's not the best system, but that's why you got to generate 7,000 of them to see if it gets one right. We will all die in the metaverse alone with Internet 2.0. I did include that's the prompt I have to use is must include pants. Is that how to get it to listen to me? Oh yeah, she's doing fine. She's doing fine. She's making a lot of AI a little characters here herself. We're kind of competing with each other. Who has the better prompts? It's a fun little dopamine rush to get to generate it. It's like, hey, here it is. It looks nice, and it's like, and it's like the reward center going off. And yeah, this is why traditional artists still have a place, because I can tell you, I've generated like 5,000 of these, and then none of them are exactly right. Probably by now, I would have been better off just learning how to make art, and I could have just drawn it by now. But I didn't. I've been sitting here like pressing the button, getting the Skinner box reward, like. Dopamine. Yeah, that's why you call yourself AI artist. It sounds better than addict. But nevertheless, this brings us to our Twitter poll. Yes, we're back to a Twitter poll because of the stipulations on made on Twitch for their restreaming, their multi-streaming rules. I figured just may as well, instead of being YouTube community poll, put it back on Twitter. So we have the question, what is the most likely outcome for the ever steady march towards AI for everything? We have choice 1 is the Terminator timeline, where robots are going to rise up and kill us all, and we're just going to be in a war with the machines. It'll be man versus machine. And there's still going to be plenty of men like, the AI does the gunning better. Let's hire the AI. And it's like, no, stupid. But, choice 2 is economic catastrophe. Like, when you have that many jobs just taken by robots, then you just, what are you going to do? Third option is what some of the people on top think is going to happen, is economic prosperity. You see, all the jobs are taken by the robots, leaving the people to not have jobs, which means the money they'll get somewhere, somehow. I don't know the in-betweens, but AI takes jobs, everyone wins. There we go. And the fourth option would be my most likely outcome, I believe, endless shit posting. That is on Twitter at DeckerShadow, or on X, if you will. And I will be sharing the link out momentarily. There we go. Nice. Okay. Now that we've ranted about AI and all that fun stuff, see, that's how you do it. Half a day's fixing things the robots fuck up. There we go. But, oh yeah, that would have been a good option too. Humans as batteries. Nevertheless. Next thing is some shady movie news. That being that Warner Brothers, you might remember them from the hit internet's discussion point Batgirl, when that was done but suddenly was shelved, and everyone was like, why? As a lot of people were like, well, it was just that terrible. But there were others saying that this might have been a shady little tax evasion kind of thing. Like some kind of shuffling around like this technically means like you can call this as a loss to this, and that works better for your taxes in that way. Now, the thing is that as a individual thing that was worth some discussion on and wonder about, but it was nothing really considered that serious. But that's happened again. Suddenly, Warner Brothers have said, hey, by the way, our little movie called Coyote versus Acme, well, it was pretty much done. But guess what? We're just going to shelve it and not release it. And we're not going to say why. Now, was Coyote versus Acme also a terrible movie that they just decided was better to just not release than to put out there and what have you? Or is this a little tax fraud scheme they're doing? One way to kind of determine that, in my opinion, would be like once is an outlier, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a pattern. So we don't really know yet, but if this happens again, I'm pretty sure we could say that there's some intentionality going on here. Now, don't really know. We're still speculating, but if there's a third time, it's gonna be interesting. It's an interesting day on the internet. Did Carrie 2 The Rage age well? Probably not, because I've always seen remakes for Carrie, but never one for Carrie 2. I'm going to have to check out Carrie 2. I've seen several Carries. I need to check out Carrie 2. I heard from test screeners that Coyote vs. Acme was pretty good, but like Batgirl and Scoob Holiday Heist, it was... Wait, Scoob Holiday Heist? I didn't hear about that one. Slated to premiere on HBO Max, so that's not WB. Okay, so could potentially be a similar reason, but because it's a different company, I can't call it a pattern just yet. Interesting. All of them been doing this for years? Okay. I am out of the loop. Dang it. Oh, I still haven't seen the mean one. I watched the trailer for it, and I was like, this looks really low budget and cheesy, but I really want to see it. And never saw it. Speaking of Christmas horror movies starring Thornton, though, Terrifier 3 evidently is going to be a Christmas horror movie, which is interesting considering Terrifier 1 was, set around Halloween, and Terrifier 2, they made a point that it's like the anniversary. It's another Halloween. Terrifier 3 is Christmas. Interesting. Makes me wonder what other holidays the Terrifier movies will take place on. Today's Veterans Day. Today is Veterans Day. Dobby, is that you? Dobby? Dobby goes where Dobby wants to go. Oh, that's cool. Has anyone ever figured out why the 2 most prominent holidays for horror are Halloween and Christmas? I get Halloween, but why is Holly Jolly Christmas the time of terror? I figured that would probably have to do with like the popularity thing. It's like if you want to get people sitting down watching your movie and you haven't theming it around a holiday, a recognizable kind of one would definitely do really well. Like, no one's going to watch the Arbor Day horror movie. Actually, that might be cool. You know what? I'm going to make an Arbor Day horror movie. The Thanksgiving horror movie, that Eli Roth. Thanks, was that one, or was it? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I saw someone complaining about the poster online today, and I'm like, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with the poster. It makes me think that these people are going to get chopped up with an axe. I'm like, I'm all here for that. Like, carve the turkey, yeah. Making a movie about Freddy when he was living a living killer would make more sense. Mm-hmm. Okay, but on the news regarding shady shit in the movie industry, I have to bring up one of my favorite movies, not because it's terrible or linked or is in any way like done some shady stuff, but because they are some of the victims of some shady stuff. Guys, remember when I reviewed Bad CGI Sharks? How I kind of happened to be in Hollywood around the time when the first rumblings of Bad CGI Sharks met my ears, and it was just intriguing to me, and I've been following them and their progress for a while, and they released the movie, and I thought it was really good, and I made my review. I gave it a 3 out of 5, and it was it's generally like, I feel almost like I have some history with this movie. Well, another thing I feel like I have history with, Full Moon Features. Well, evidently, at one point in the past, they had met with Majima, the creators of Bad CGI Sharks, and they pitched them the idea of turning Bad CGI Sharks into a full moon feature. They were like, guys, read your script. Love what you got here. Got a lot of heart. Love that heart. Whatever. Here's what we could do. We could make this bigger than your $6,000 you have to make it yourself. We could make it a full moon movie for like $10,000. And here's the kicker, guys. Here's the kicker. The script, great. We'll do most of it. But what we're going to add, tits everywhere. I know a lot of ladies that'll do this too. It's great. You're going to love it. Tits. Think about it. Bad CGI Sharks and tits. And Majima, we're like, well, thank you for the offer, but no. Did you not read the script? Do you not know the heart and the soul? We're pouring our hearts out onto this paper to create the art that is Bad CGI Sharks. So they turned their offer down, said sorry to that money and those tits, but Bad CGI Sharks means more than that. And a little thing has made its way to a little thing has made its way onto the internet over the last week or so. Full Moon released a trailer for a little movie called Bad CGI Gator. They took the concept of Bad CGI Sharks, removed the heart and soul of it, and added tits. Now, I like tits as much as the next guy. Unless the next guy doesn't like tits, then I like tits more than the next guy. Bad CGI Sharks has a meaning to it. There's a reason why it has a cult following, somewhat sizable in Japan, actually. It's big in Japan. Literally, I could probably find some. Like, do we have any There's just a lot of Japanese media and stuff. Oh, here's my bad CGI Sharks review. It's one of the one of the things that pop up. But yeah, there's just a good amount of you could find lots of stuff in Japan where they are watching and enjoying bad CGI Sharks. It's got a good fan base. And yeah. Well, yes, that's also like thing. But I'm pretty sure Japan's probably not going to be as huge on bad CGI Gator because they actually they know about bad CGI Sharks. And it's very sad seeing like the discourse online because there's the creators of bad CGI Sharks. They see this, they know the stuff going on, and they see like comments of people who are praising Full Moon for coming up with this amazing concept for a movie. And it's like, this has been their baby. It hasn't exploded into super viral popularity, but they made this movie and it's a good one. And now they see this bastardization just start to like run off and get headlines and crap, and people being like, oh, well, that's such a great idea. And it's just like, it's their idea. Not only is it their idea, but they already made the movie. They don't have to be like, we thought of it first. No, they didn't just think of it. They put their nose to the grindstone and made it. Full Moon could have easily thrown the thing together before they got around to it, but they clearly didn't actually believe in the fucking movie. Otherwise, they would have. Tell me I'm wrong. Sorry. It hurts. It hurts. Yeah, if things were reversed, Full Moon would have sued probably, yeah. But yeah. I just check out bad CGI Sharks. Check out bad CGI Sharks. You know what? I'm going to share in the chat a link. Put that on a tab to the side for now, paused if you want. You can watch bad CGI Sharks on Tubi for free right here. Later. Like, this isn't me, like, Twitch. Keep watching the stream on Twitch. Twitch is a great place to watch this stream. That's the link to later for personal use. It's a great movie. Check it out. It's on Tubi for free. You see, that would have had some, like, put a little spin on it. Like, there we go. Ooh, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. They turn the bad CGI Sharks into bad CGI Gators. We'll take those bad CGI Gators and turn those into bad CGI Meth Gators and make an even better movie than them. But then would that also be stepping on bad CGI Sharks? Because I'd like to avoid good CGI Meth Gators. We're going to have to fundraise the hell out of that. Or AI-generated Meth Gators. AI-generated Meth Gators. There we go. Done. AI-generated Meth Gators. Awesome. Seme-ega. Think that. Same-ega. Kaso. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's so, not What? Kaso or kan? It's cool, not ka, cool. It's I still don't know Japanese very well, but I know that that's the CGI, the kanji for movie. Eiga, I believe. The second kanji in that is brushstroke. I can't remember what the first kanji is too well, but did you ever check out No One Will Save You? Have not yet. If you're hyped for Godzilla -1, it looks incredible. Funny, good Christmas slasher. Santa's sleigh. Is he played by Jack Wrestler? Oh, yeah, Godzilla -1. I haven't. It's another one of those situations where it's like I hear the idea and I'm immediately 100% on board, and therefore I'm not like thinking about going and checking out the trailer because I don't need convincing, and then it slips out of my fun having the ADHD. Everything makes a lot more sense when you realize that. But thank you for all your awesome work. I love the Freddy's Five Fingers First Thoughts. Have you seen the new Nick Cage movie? New Nick Cage movie. I remember Renfield. Which new Nick Cage movie? Damn it. There's a lot of new Nick Cage movies that I haven't seen. Or newer than the last time I reviewed a Nick Cage movie. Well, busting makes me feel good. That's all I got to say about that. Anyway, let's talk about a little bit of other news. Speaking of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, there's just now, starting some rumbling, some speculation that you're seeing the comic book movies. They're starting to look like they're struggling a tad. There's some stinkers that have come out and they haven't quite hit the targets. They're still making a lot of money, but they're not quite. It's not like that that everyone in making movies loves to see. That no. It's only going like and it's like what's going to be the next big thing? What's going to be the next big thing, Jason? We're going to figure out what's going to be the next big thing to make movies on. Maybe the movie viewers are tired of comic book movies. They really aren't. They're tired of choppily thrown together crap movies. But maybe they're tired of comic books, so therefore, what is the genre that seems to be picking up right now? I'll tell you what. Five Nights at Freddy's, whoop, boom, did really well. Sonic, whoop, boom, doing really well. Mario, whoop, boom, did fantastic. They're making the new Legend of Zelda live-action adaptation. I'll tell you what the next big thing in movies is. It's the video game movies, which was a thing I remembered from the 90s that was not a great thing. But that might be the thing. Now, I figured that video games would be the thing to usurp comic books in terms of the big focus of movies. Now, that's going to mean, if it does come to fruition, it's going to look something along the lines of this. A few really good video game movies come out and do fantastically well. That you are here. This is like the best part, where it's a special treat and it's really good. Love that. This is followed by the second phase, which is the growth phase. This is where you start getting a lot of video game movies. And there's a good amount of experimentation in here, which means there are some good ones that do rise up, and you tend to forget about the crappier ones around this time. So it seems like it's a big whew. Hey, it's time for video game movies. And this is where it's like, it's all coming up and all the studios start going like, we need to make more video game movies. And then it starts peaking out where they're just all throwing all kinds of it at it. And the successful ones, the successful formulas start eking out. And the general amount of profit made per movie goes up. And it's like focused, and then it peaks. And then you hit where comic books have been for a while, where it starts just sticking to the formula. It sticks to the formula, and it just starts churning out more than necessary. It makes its own weird kind of canon, and it just kind of continues, and it starts like... And there's going to be some real stinkers at that point, like your Morbiuses are going to show up in this stage. And then movie studios are going to be, they're making video game movies because it's what you do, but they're going to be on the lookout for the next thing, the fad to jump on. That's how they go. That's kind of, Westerns, sci-fi. Like you got these big big pushes in that, and like the genre still exists. It's not like there's not going to be comic book movies after movie studios all dump their comic book projects to run after video games. They're still going to come, and it's just going to be kind of like, westerns do come out. But they're not really huge, and they're not the whole of cinema. Omelette du fromage. Yes. Star of that comment. A Spyro movie. I've seen way too many Pixar movie posters lately for that to work out. It's like, who the Pixar? It's like, no. It's something else. DreamWorks. I don't know. No, even that. No. It's not working right. A better Ratchet and Clank film. Yeah. What kind of video game movie? What kind of video game? I wouldn't mind EDF. just something that it condenses it in 90 minutes, but it just gets more and more crazy as it goes. Like, just have the most insane alien, and like, it starts off as like a modest little alien invasion, realistic soldier man doing side rolls with the regular gun, fighting giant ants. And then over the course of 90 minutes, the entire city is exploding and burning down. Huge robots walking around, big freaking mothership coming through, and the guy's using his giant freaking super death laser 9000 calling down like the Hammer of Dawn and all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, just that it just gotta just have the action go woof, like EDF. Have it start off exciting and end absolutely bonkers. Didn't we get a Pong movie? I want to say we did, but I guess I don't remember. Was that just a nightmare I had? I remember, like, was it PlayStation 1 they had Pong 2, or was it PlayStation 2? Again, there was a time with PlayStation 1 and 2 where they were going back with all the old Atari Namco kind of things and trying to, like, here's the new Frogger and stuff like that. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, the effects were kind of back then. Like, it was practical effects, which is appreciable, but they looked like dummies in my opinion. But yeah, technically, storyline-wise, what art did to those kids, not nice. Not nice. Thank you. The next review, once it gets out of the copyright the copyright stopgap, is going to be another somewhat lesser known, but probably known to my audience because the other 4 movies of the series I have reviewed. It's the last one is from like a decade ago. No, that's 20 years. Oh, God. Anyway, I'm not getting old. You're getting old. Kirby's Nightmares. Like, are we talking about like a new horror movie? Well, thoughts on Halloween 3? I enjoyed it, but I came into it like many years past when it came out. So the Halloween series had already moved on through the Thorn trilogy and all that stuff. Thorn trilogy? Well, whatever. And the whole thing with Halloween 3 was like, at the time it came out, there was a lot of pushback, but I didn't watch it then. I watched it well past that, when everyone knew that the Halloween series already moved back to Michael Myers. So it clearly existed just by itself as its own movie. So I just watched it as that and really enjoyed it. Also, the kids die horribly in that one as well. Like, grotesquely. John Carpenter does some good work, but yeah, I think that too myself, but then I realized, and I'm like, no, no. Both YouTube and the company called Snail Games are being sued. What's that about? Snail Game lawsuit. Snail Games lawsuit. David Runyon, who joined Snail Games USA as its director of game operations in July 2012, has filed a lawsuit with the Los Angeles County Superior Court accusing his former employers of numerous breaches of the Fair Housing and Employment Act. Oh. Well, that's not nice. That sounds like a very bad time. Oh, a Titanfall film. I mean, see, that sounds really awesome, but then I worry because, like, Alien versus Predator existed in comics and in video game form long before they made any movies on it. And when they made the movies, they ignored most of the stuff in it. Like, the first one paid a little bit of attention to the lore, but only so much as that they could easily fit in. But it was made as, like, it was made first with the concessions it had for being a movie. They're like, guys, we're going to have to film this in reality, so all this high-tech sci-fi stuff from the Aliens universe is really expensive. Let's set this in modern day. Therefore, this house works as the setting. Cheap. And we want this to make the most money possible, so we want to keep it down from being an R rating. So let's focus on a nice PG-13. And it's like all those problems. And then AVP-R, the R-rated AVP Requiem, was like, okay, everyone hated the PG-13. We're gonna go in here and we're gonna make the R-rated AVP-R. And like one of the first things they do is kill a kid unnecessarily, which is like, it's an example of like when it uses the stuff to be like, and we're a serious movie, and it doesn't have the good movie to back it up. And it's like, you killed a kid for AVPR? You absolutely horrifyingly like just had monstrous creatures bore their way out of pregnant women's bellies for AVPR? It's like, AVP means something else to me. Like, I was playing it on the Atari Jaguar. Like, that's my AVP. Where it's like, you got your story with the Yacha, your story with the Marine, and your story with the Alien. Like, they're all important characters with their own story. You had a little bit of that with the first movie. Like, Grid was the alien you sort of follow around with his story. It's not a very interesting story, but it's there. But I worry about that. Like, I'm getting off on my ADHD tangents, but I worry about that with Titanfall. Like, you have your ruins and your modern-ish setting. It's not too far in the future, but there's a lot of high-tech, big stuff. And it would be really cool if they do that well and translate that properly to the screen, like show cinematic shots of the kind of action that you would do in Titanfall. But I worry that they'd find a way to just make it a standard-ass military movie, and the mecha suit is like some secret project that there is like the driving point and the thread. It shows up a little bit in Act 3 and doesn't really look right because it's really a car. And there's like some kind of problem like that is what I am seeing in my head. And I'm like, no, be the good Titanfall. Be the good Titanfall. Push Titanfall to new heights. Don't be that Titanfall. No. But it is about time for the... Yeah, we got the final results of the Live and Wired poll. Oh, pot is now legal where I live. Yay! Speaking of Ohio, where is our lovely moderator of the chat? Unfortunately, they could not make it tonight. They had a karaoke contest. I'm not kidding. I hope they do well. And if anything, I hope they have fun. That's the most important part. But yes, the lowest vote, we got 43 votes. So at the lowest point, with 4.7 of the vote, is economic prosperity. Nobody believes in that. 18.6% of the vote goes to economic catastrophe. Considerably more people believe that's the situation. And even more than that, 27.9% voted the Terminator timeline. We're just going to be at war with the machines. It's going to be a bad time for all of us. But hey, time travel. Yeah, you take what you can get. And 48.8% vote endless shit posting. Very nice. Very nice. So yeah, we got just a couple of minutes left in the stream before I gotta call this. So, what am I working on? I need to work on my brain, really. I've got the next review uploaded, but it's still not free. It is not free. Let me put this over here. See if I can show everyone. Yeah, you see, you got the copyright block on it, which means if I do put it live, it's going to be sent out to like a quarter of the people that normally would and not be able to recover from that. I'm glad the Halloween Ends review actually did okay. I am happy about that. I am happy. I don't assume that this is going to do nearly that well because there's a difference between Halloween Ends and Nature Unleashed Tornado. It is. It's frustrating as it's just, I don't know. I've been trying to get back on doing stuff more frequently on the channel because I need to, because this is how I make a living. But it's like this kind of stuff happens, and it just knocks the wind out of your sails. And I'm just here like, I know I need to be doing more work towards making more reviews. But I woke up this morning at like 11 and I looked and I realized, oh crap, it's Saturday. I got to do Live and Wired. Like that's how we ended up here. So yeah. In a post-apocalyptic world, one man is transported from the microwave dimension to feast upon the remains of those who once lived. Rated R. Okay. See, that sounds like okay, but it's like I don't feel like I have as much to talk about as I could, and the amount of views those would get would be considerably lower than the regular ones. And unfortunately, the way YouTube works right now with the algorithm and the demands it makes, if it's not like super high, it's bad for your channel. And it's like, I just want to make some nice, quicker videos because the algorithm wants like 2 really good videos a week. So the algorithm wants me to make 2 big reviews a week, which I can, but I'll drain myself so fast doing that. Like it would be a bad time for a while after. I could keep that up for a little bit, I'm sure, but like it's oh well. Oh yeah, that's right. There was the tweet made by Rockstar saying, by the way, we're going to drop the trailer for GTA 6 in December. And then I think there was like Rockstar coming out and saying that they didn't mean to tweet that. Like, yes, a trailer's coming, but that's not how we wanted to announce it. And it's interesting. Yeah, helping the algorithm is like babysitting. Yeah. Oh. Looked like Weird Al Yankovic at a Warhammer convention. I'll take that as a compliment. Oh yeah, there was them saying things like, well, we should really think of games as like a $1 per hour kind of situation. And it was like, yeah, you would say that with the amount of people play your games. In the meantime, I paid like $60 for EDF 5, and I played that over 700 hours. So let's let's pull out the calculator because I don't feel like doing math in my head right now. So $60 divided by the 700 hours that it gave me, that's about 8.5 cents an hour. So if Rockstar would like to compete with 8.5 cents an hour for their game, then I'm all ears. But yeah, this is the time. This is the end of the stream. But I am also back to streaming on Twitch, which means I could potentially raid on Twitch. Do we raid? I mean, it's not going to do anything to the YouTube side of things, but is there any? Okay, no channels I follow are currently raidable anyway. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. So yeah. Thank you all for watching. I've been Decker Shadow. And remember, AI is getting better at the hand, so you're gonna have to get a lot better at recognizing when the robots are trying to deceive you.